It's early in the morning, about 7:30. Another beautifully warm, hot day here in Panama. It was great being back in England. I met a lot of people who had various opinions about the series, and one of them was like, "You're always saying how hot it is," and there's a reason for that. It's because it's incredibly hot. It's this big sausage bag. I had it for the whole trip. I literally lived out of this bag. I left the hotel and I suddenly realized things were coming out of the bottom of my bag. But underneath it, look at that. That ripped open. It was dragging. This is the bottom of the thing. Now I bought some charts and I put them in the bottom of the bag. And unfortunately, that happened. And I fell over in the road trying to get to a taxi, which was a bit stupid of me. And as one of you guys once admitted to, said to me, falling down when you're drunk is excusable, but falling when you're sober is unexcusable. So I have no excuse. Friends of mine from a boat called Sugar Shack left me a couple of spare batteries. They were changing out their batteries and left me a couple on the deck here. So those are second hand, but they will do as standbys or spares. And the bad news about Sugar Shack, Matt and Christine, they've been in one of the earlier videos. They got hit by lightning. It's the second boat I know that's been hit by lightning in the last few months. This time of year around here, lightning is fearsome and it's common. And to know two boats personally that have been struck, and it blew out everything in the boat. Everything electrical went basically, and they're having to do a complete refit of electrical systems on their boat, and that includes alternators and everything. Bad. But right now the cupboard's bare. There's nothing on the boat at all. So there's a list there. I'm going to try and arrange a lift to town to do some shopping. Went out to a cruisers get-together with a bit of lightning in the background during the evening. There's Nika from White Spot Pirates, who's done a bit of filming, and Maria from Sail Joanna and myself practicing the funky chicken. It was a great night out, and the Boga Bar and the marina that hosted us invited us to come into the bar area. We just kind of took over the place with our own food and our own drink, so that was really cool then. Had a good time. Thought I'd show you a couple of things that I bought while I was in the UK.
There's one of the hatch handles there, and there's another one there, just there, which you can see is broken.
In fact, all the handles are a little bit iffy and worn out, and some of the locking mechanisms, like on this one here, are broken. So I've only got one handle on each hatch that's working properly. So I got a whole set, and I'm going to do, which I'll do in another video, some cable tie arrangement with steel cable to prevent them being opened by unofficial people. And then I've got this, which is a solar regulator. My original one, which was down here, stopped working a while ago. I've got a cheap replacement that sat there. It looks very nice with the LED screen and the USB socket things there and all, but this is about 4 times the price and is the real deal. This has it'll take the 2 sets of batteries, whereas that one won't, and I can do a trickle charge system for the starting batteries on one side and the house batteries on the other side. So I'm looking forward to getting that wired up. And I have another one down here, which is actually a very expensive unit, which I got second hand, but it won't handle all the panels I've got at the moment. I did have a jury rig system here to charge the starter batteries, which are not on the main system, but this little doohickey here, when I get him wired up, will put us back to where we were before, and everything should be working properly. So here we are once again in the engine room with the big blue Mini. It's not doing much at the moment. As you can see, we've got some water coming out through there, and particularly on this plate here. We've had a look at this before. In there is a gasket and it's leaking, so I need to take that off, and it's been leaking on the alternator, which has a rubber glove on it to protect it. But no, I'm going to redo that. This is another thing I bought back from England. It looks like a floor tile, but it actually is a gasket. So yeah, a bit of work to do in here before I fire her up. She's been sat here for a month now, so I'm going to take a look at all this water system today and hopefully fire her up a little bit later on. Got the drain plug out of there. I'm going to put a plastic bag over this just in case I get it wrong. Gotta undo these. Plastic bottle cut out. I'm going to now separate this. I have no idea what's going to happen here. That's good, I think. Got it off. You can see there, that's the inside. That's the face of it there. Meanwhile, a couple of hours later, I made myself a little gasket there. It doesn't look pretty, but it's all correct. It's always amazing how many tools are needed just to do one simple job. It's not leaking so far. It's the first time I've started the engine in over a month, so I've checked and double checked everything. Yeah, well, that's my working day done. I'm going to clean all this mess up and have a beer. Went down to a local beach bar with a couple of other guys from England who have a boat next to me. We just bought beer 6-pack after 6-pack and sat down. It was just cold beer on a very, very hot day. And the kids they got these dogs. There were just dogs everywhere. Just had a few beers in this cute little cafe. It's like a little fishing community here with puppies. I've been thinking about it, and people have suggested that I get a dog for the boat. It would be great company and a crew member. I was looking at this guy. He'd just be perfect, wouldn't he? Be great, but maybe too much responsibility. Then of course there's the vultures on the beach. It had everything. These guys were really friendly, the friendliest stray dogs I've ever seen. Just having a drink on my mate's boat, fellow Brits abroad and all that. Nice little layout on here. We've got an aft cabin there, the skipper there, and more accommodation down there. And look, oh goodness me. Guinness. Good fortune. In what seems to be a never-ending cycle of maintenance, one thing I've wanted to do for a long time is to wash the covers on the couches and the beds as well, with the sort of grease and the body sweat, just general dirt. It's something that needed to get done, but could only be done when I had a big source of fresh water, which is what I have here. Because there's not a lot of room, I think I'll just do this side, and I'll do that side later. And then there's the front cabin. Cruise's washing machine. Yeah. Just typing out some thank you notes for my patrons. If you are one of my patrons, thank you so much. Lots of jobs to do today, but before I get on to do stuff, just a word about tea. Tea, as an Englishman, tea is very important, and getting decent tea in foreign countries is very hard. This is probably some of the best tea you can get, Yorkshire tea. And my wonderful neighbours, 2 English guys who've got a boat next door. They're like sea dogs, actually. The 3 of us together, like 3 old sea dogs. They're leaving today and going back to England. Going to leave their boat here for 5 months. Goodness. So I'm going to go say goodbye to them. So if I get an offer for the boat, shall I take it? Yeah. What, a couple of quid?
I may be staying, I may be going, I may be left, I may fall apart. Come to my table, come to my bed, go easy my hunger, easy my head, bringing me fire, bringing me water, taking me high, taking me down. To my bed, go easy my hunger, easy my head, oh, bringing me fire, bringing me water,
And I've had some bad news. Spare batteries. My friends on their boat, Sugar Shack series. Friends of mine, everything on that boat is pretty much powered. And jury rig, some stuff. We're changing out their batteries. They are old ones. Have to basic services, but